Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody today? Jamie's here already. Ready to begin Homestead. Hello, thank you for popping in. Oh, I got to get a drink. I was in a rush to get in here and get started on time. Trying to prepare lunch. So, not a whole lot going on, not anything specific to talk about today, but we're just going to chit chat a little. I've been trying to kind of work on, I think I said it last week, some topics for the lives. I think I'm going to start doing at least a once a month or maybe even like every other week shout out type videos. I don't know. I'm working on it. Just coming up with some ideas. I have some videos prepared for this week, so I'm feeling good about that. Kind of getting back on an even flow, which is nice. I made some cherry jelly, which is going to be the video for Friday. Trying to kind of stick to a pattern. Monday live. Wednesday is, garden update or something to do with the garden in some way. Hi, Rita's Roost. Thank you for coming in. And then Friday will be some sort of preservation style video. And then I figure if I have anything else going on, any other videos that need to go out, then those will just be bonuses happening. So it's just kind of the idea. So let's see. Yeah, the heat. The cucumbers are doing wonderful. There are so many blossoms on the cucumbers. It's amazing. And they're doing very well. The squash is doing very, very well. And the tomatoes are doing pretty well. I don't think they really got completely pollinated, all of the buds that were there. So not really getting as many tomatoes as I should be getting, at least yet anyway. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But the heat is definitely taking its toll on the green beans. And, I was telling my husband this morning, if I hadn't had all of the problems with the pests, whatever it was that was eating my plants every time they would get just, this big. And so I would have been a month to 6 weeks ahead of where I am right now. And I would have gotten pretty good harvest off of the green beans and stuff before this major heat kicked in. So as it is now, I really haven't gotten that much. I think I've gotten a couple of pounds of the green, and I think I'm at about 6 or 7 pounds of the yellow, and that's because the golden wax ones were an earlier producing. So they did most of theirs before it got too hot. And, the green beans are pole beans. They were just getting started when we started getting all these really high temperatures. So live and learn. I have some plans to make it better for next year. Live and learn, And yeah, well, I'm in California, so my season started. I usually start my seeds in February, and by the middle to the end of March, I'm putting them out in the garden. So, like I said, though, I had all those problems at the beginning of this year, so that put me behind quite a bit. Something, eating the plants. So that's okay. Like I said, the squash is doing well. Any of the lettucey stuff, I'm going to be pulling up this weekend and feeding that what's left to the tortoises, because I'm pretty sure it's bitter now. Most of that kind of stuff is starting to bolt. So, and I'm probably going to pull the golden wax bean plants because they're pretty well done and they're just drying out now. So, and I'm debating on the pole beans at this moment. I guess I'll see what kind of shape they're in this weekend to decide what I'm going to do there. So that's okay, Jamie. Tomatoes are coming in, peppers are starting. Yeah, see, I didn't have, that's the other thing that didn't have too much luck with was my peppers. I do have two plants that were kind of mixed in the same bed as where the cucumbers are. And one of them is a poblano and one is I believe a bell pepper. And they're just now starting to get some pretty decent peppers going on those. But the 6 or so that I planted in the bed kind of by themselves, I mean, there was some like carrots and different things mixed in there. But those, they never got bigger than about this big, and they're not doing a whole lot. So I don't know what the deal is there. Part of it is I am definitely not happy with the bulk soil that I had brought in at all. I've had to amend it. I've had to add manure to it. I'm having to put fertilizer in it when I put it in the beds, and it's not very good soil at all. So, been a cooler season. Yeah, Janice. I kind of miss having the type of season that you get in the Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, area. But it's a shorter growing season, but it's a more efficient and tolerable, I guess you could say, during the season. It's easier to deal with, I think, than what we got going on here. So I don't know. I'm learning some things that I'm going to do different next year, be a little more prepared. I am going to get some more of those wire, those little trash can things that I was using to cover some of the plants. I want to get a whole bunch more of those because they stack well. And that way, when I put my plants out from the greenhouse into the garden, I can cover everything with those, because those worked well. Those worked better than putting up the bird netting did, because stuff was still getting in the bird netting. So, all I can do is learn and do better for next year. So I have some plans, some things, ready. And like I said, I would have, if I didn't have the problems with whatever the pests were, then I would have had a pretty decent yield going on by now before this major heat really hit. So, tomatoes are just starting to ripen. Yes, I picked one tomato day before yesterday. And when I went out there today, I have, I think, 3 or 4 that are within a day or two of ready to pick. So I do have a few coming on. My big thing this year is going to be the cucumbers, which they are pickling cucumbers, and the squash. I have quite a bit going on with those 2 things. So, Broke Cowgirl, hello. How are you doing? Done with tomatoes. Now, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put the link up here in case anybody wants to come up. I know nobody ever does, but you never know. And then I'm going to go ahead and come over here and pin it. Your tomatoes are coming on pretty good right now. Yep. Yeah. I would have had the saving grace is, I really didn't plant a whole lot of tomatoes because I have a lot of tomato product in my pantry. Because I did some of the bulk where I bought like the number 10 cans and recanned into small jars. And I did tomato sauce and pasta sauce and crushed tomatoes and a pizza sauce and I can't remember what all, but anyway, I have more than enough tomato products to get us through till at least next season. So I was fine there. I just wanted to plant a few for us to have for our fresh using during the season. And we're going to get a few, but not what I thought we would. Not counting all the sauces and juice and other stuff. Again, 68 quarts of stewed tomatoes. Dang! Nice. Picked my last of my tomatoes Sunday afternoon and made Taco Bell hot sauce with those. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to have to worry about the tomato products. So, that was a good thing. And getting some of this figured out this year is probably a good thing so that next year I'll be a little more prepared because next year I will probably need more tomatoes. So I have never done canned coleslaw. And, to be honest with you, I myself am not a big fan of the coleslaw sauce at all. Never have been. I love the veggies that go in it, and I like to use them in other ways, but I do not like the coleslaw sauce. Cucumbers are not doing all that great. And see, mine's the opposite. My cucumbers they're doing very well. And I couldn't believe every morning when I go out there to water, the butterflies and the bees are all over the cucumbers because there are so many buds right now. And so when I went out there this morning, I was looking, and there are so many that are, this big. And you know how cucumbers can be, especially with the pickling ones, because, they're not like huge anyway. You can have nothing today and go out there and have a whole basket full tomorrow. They like sneak up on you. It's like they grow overnight. So I think in the next day or two, I'm probably going to have quite a few cucumbers to do something with over the weekend at least. Fermenting my salad. Now, see, that was what I was hoping. I really want to get some cabbage done this year. I am going to try and plant some for the fall because I love. I made homemade coleslaw, or not coleslaw, homemade sauerkraut, fermented, about 3 years ago, and it was like the best thing I had ever made. When you compare it to what you buy at the store, it was just, I refused to buy anything from the store anymore because I was spoiled by it. It was so good. And so I really wanted to get some cabbage done and be able to do my own sauerkraut again this year. So it's not happening for the spring, summer, but I'm hoping that I can plant some for the fall and have a pretty decent yield to make some sauerkraut for the fall. Most of the garden is done, other than okra. Yeah, I really didn't do much of, I guess, what I would call the oddball vegetables because I'm the only one that eats most of that stuff. The okra, the squash, the eggplant, the Brussels sprouts, any of that kind of stuff. My husband doesn't eat. And so sometimes it's not really worth me planting when it's just for me. Sometimes I'll throw in 1 or 2 plants here and there just so I can have some fresh, but I'm ready to strike a match and light the whole thing on fire. It's so overgrown with weeds and grass, and I cannot do the 100-degree weather. We are having to do anything about it. Yep. I hear you. And I think we're a little cooler today than we have been in over a week, and I think we're 102, 103 today. They're saying by next weekend we might be in upper 90s. That's a cool down for us right now. But we were running those, 105 to 115 for over a week. And it wasn't good at all. So just trying to deal with the weather, keep everything watered best I can. And like I said, some of the stuff is not handling it well. Some of it's doing great. So, yep, definitely a tricky part of watering. Supposed to get to 95 degrees by the end of the week. Yeah, it's we get out there in the morning and you spend, I'm doing good if I can spend a couple of hours between watering the garden and feeding the chickens and all that kind of stuff. And I get up early, so that's okay. But by the time I'm done with that, that's it. It's too hot to do anything else. The other issue that I'm having, I was telling my husband this morning, is I have several things that I want to get canned. Some of the juices and stuff that I've done, I have sitting there waiting for me to do some. I want to do some syrup and I want to do some jelly and some jam and some different things. Anyway, it's too hot in my canning kitchen outside, and it's too noisy in my regular kitchen inside. And even if I wanted to just do like the voiceover thing and try and do some of the stuff inside, I still have to take it back outside because I can't use the canner on my glass top stove. So I am having a hard time just getting some of those things done that I need to get done because of the weather. So it's been 100 plus since the first part of July every day. Told my husband I'm not killing myself trying to get in. I hear you. I'm trying to get as much as I can out of the garden. I pick early morning. Best time to pick veggies. That's when the flower flavors are in the fruit and veggies after they sit all night. Yep. I go out first thing in the morning. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I say first thing in the morning. We are early risers. We get up, not real early, but we wake up anywhere from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, just depending on the day. But I have to have an hour to sit and wake up, look at my YouTube, look at my Facebook, check my mail, just spend an hour waking up before I get moving. Now, once I get moving, I get quite a bit done, but, that only leaves a couple of hours really before it gets too hot to do anything else. But it's never looked like this. Weather's crazy. Yep. Trip digits by Friday. Yeah, see, we've already been way past that. Tomatoes in the afternoon because the flavors are supposed to be better, and don't water them the day before you pick. Yep, alone me time. I hear that's me. I have to have my hour, and my husband knows it. He doesn't bother me, even if we're supposed to be, going to the store or we got certain things to do, because he's one of those that can get up and he'll drink a cup of coffee, but it doesn't take him very long. But then he's raring to go. But he knows not to bother me for that first hour. That's just me. Me personally, they taste better in the AM. The sun beats down on them. Yeah. I'm not a morning person. I understand totally that hour. Coffee, don't. Whoops. Pop-ups. Not talk to me or ask me anything important because my brain isn't engaged yet. Yep. And see, coffee, I really don't drink much coffee. I drink maybe 2 cups a week. I'm a tea drinker, sweet tea drinker, drink it cold, and that's what I drink all the time. Once in a great while, I get a hankering for, a root beer or something like that, but that's like maybe once a month. For the most part, I drink tea all the time. That is my coffee. But yeah, this weather's just it's been really hard to deal with because I have so many things I want to get done, and it's too freaking hot. So I don't know. I think, like tomorrow morning, my husband said, because we have the way my outdoor kitchen is set up. Our house is, long and skinny. It's kind of shaped almost like a mobile home, but it's a house. And the patio goes the whole length of the house. And we have, the end of it is where we have like a little shed and some storage and things like that. But then we have the living room type area that we set up for holidays and watching games and things like that. Then we have my kitchen area, and then my husband has a work space. We have a swamp cooler in the living room part, and we have it where we can close all of the doors. Now it's not sealed very well. It's kind of drafty or whatever because it's an outdoor. It wasn't meant to be like a house walls or anything. But I do have doors all over the whole thing. And he told me this morning when we were talking about how I'm having trouble getting stuff done, that I should just come out in the morning when I first get up, and I go out. And I'm a smoker, so I go out to have my smoke in the morning, and I should turn that swamp cooler on, close all the doors, and let it cool off as much as possible just before I get ready to start videoing. I can't leave it on, even though I have like a partial wall sort of thing going on. I may try it. I have not tried it since I got this new lavalier mic. But normally, when I tried it before, I couldn't leave that on while I was filming because it was too loud and the mic picked it up too much. So maybe I'll do a test with the lavalier and see if it picks up too much if I leave it running while I'm filming. It's not gonna make it 60, 70 degrees in there, but it's definitely gonna make it tolerable while I'm trying to get some stuff done. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try that and see. We'll see. I always have a glass of sweet iced tea handy too. I go maybe 2 or 3 days a week that I don't make coffee. Yeah. Don't talk to me till after my first cup of coffee. I drink 2 cups at least in the morning. Yeah. Strong cups. Yeah, window unit makes a lot of noise. You don't notice until I edit a video. Yep. And it's funny because the same thing with, I'm sure all of you are getting familiar with the fact that my geese think they need to be on every video that I make. So I can't do anything in the garden without them squawking away. But I don't even notice when I'm in my kitchen because of the way it's closed off, that I don't even really notice the geese at that point. But then when I get ready to start editing the video, I figure out that they have been squawking the whole time I was filming my video. It's not near as loud as like when I'm out in the garden, but you don't even notice those things until you get ready to edit. And it's like, where'd that come from? So, and it's a bit frustrating when I'm trying to do the garden videos. It's hard to do a garden update or show anybody what's going on out there. I really can't do more than maybe 10 minutes at the most walk through just to show you what it looks like because of the geese. Hold on 1 second. The dogs are scratching on the door to come in. Yeah, normally they come in here with me before I even get started, but I had just got through fixing something to eat, and my husband and his sister are in there. They were eating, so you know how the dogs are. They're not going to come in here with me as long as there might be food out there for them. So apparently they're done eating, so the dogs were ready to come in. Bark at nothing. Yep. roosters crowing, goats making all kinds of noise. Yes, oblivious until you edit. That's exactly how it works. I find it funny that I just, like I said, I don't even notice that they're making any noise at all while I'm filming the video. Get ready to edit it, and yeah. And I purposely, the video that's coming out Friday, which is the one with the cherry jelly, I was filming, and my husband kind of came around the corner. He's got his cup of coffee in his hand, and he kind of peeks in, and I edited it to stop right there. But, he did his whole, "Are you filming?" I said, "Well, yeah, but what do you need?" We went through our conversation, whatever. And then in the video, it picks back up after that. But I purposely kind of left that little part in where he came around the corner and peeked in, because that's everyday life. That's how it always works when I'm trying to do videos and stuff, between dogs getting under my feet, husband needing something, can't find something, has a question, whatever the case may be, animals making all kinds of noise. You just never know. Somebody comes to the door. It's all the time. When I had all 10 baby goats, I swear they had to make it sound like they were dying during a video. So it's much quieter. Yeah. The hounds bark at the turtle. Yeah, mine bark when they think they hear something outside, or somebody new comes in. You guys have heard them several times. But for the most part, they're not too bad about the barking. So, my biggest issue is those geese. I wish I could figure out a way to get them to be quiet. And if I would have known, we would have planned it a little bit different and not had the duck and geese pen, back to back with my garden. The concept seems good, but on the noise level, this made it really hard to do some videos. It's crazy. That's part of homesteading. Yep. Yeah, it gets interesting when I'm, like I said, I can't really do. It's like even trying to film when I was filling the last bed out there. The video had to be pretty much a silent video, because the geese, I can't really talk. Even with the lavalier, it's much better, but it still picks them up pretty good, because they're loud, and they get right up to the fence where the garden is, and sometimes even poke their heads through the little squares on the garden fence and yak at me. So, like I said, it makes it very difficult to do much more than just a quick, this is what's going on, this is what's going on here, this is what's going on here, because I would love to be able to just sit down and, show how I plant something, or, how I'm picking them, just prune, pinching the suckers off the tomatoes, different things like that. I would love to be able to show all that kind of stuff, but I just can't do it with those geese. Just not going to happen. One Dotson and 2 red-boned coonhounds. Hounds are loud. Yeah, see the one that you guys hear all the time get really, really loud, Rocky, the big black dog. He's a cattle dog. His mom was full-blooded cattle dog, and she got out of the fence and came home pregnant, so they don't know what the dad was. But he's at least half cattle dog. So that's why we have issues with making sure we keep him away from the chickens. And that's why his bark and his, it's almost like that, what do they call the one that they do when they tree an animal? I can't remember what they call it. But anyway, it is so loud on him. Pretty sure the bull was breeding a cow in the background. That's funny. But yes, it is real homesteading, but that is funny. Sounds like the kind of thing that would happen to me. Yeah, I've been spending a lot of time when it's hot and I can't really do anything else. I've been trying to spend a lot of time doing some research, some learning for YouTube. I'm trying to start maybe kind of planning out my videos a little better. I forget to do things like, well, like right now, I'm trying to do the blueberry jam, and I talk about the fact that I don't know if I even did that video yet, so I might have to look at it. But let's say I say on there, on a previous video, I juiced the blueberries. I forget that I can, card up here in the corner if you're interested in seeing that video. I forget about that part. So I'm trying to plan out the video a little better with the keynotes. Don't forget to do this, don't forget to say that. Don't forget to reference certain things. Trying to kind of plan out the thumbnail a little better before I start filming. All of that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's what how I've been trying to make use of the time that I'm not able to do anything else because it's too hot. I was milking one morning. My husband came to the barn door. It's locked because I don't want anyone to escape. And he makes a noise that sounds like Bigfoot. I about had a runaway fit. Wasn't videoing, but it would have been hilarious. Yeah. I know it's funny because it seems like some of the best moments that you could capture on video are the ones that happen when you're not filming. But anyway, so that's what I got going on. Just trying to stay out of the heat, trying to keep the plants alive best I can, and trying to get something filmed when I can. Yeah, struggling to make content during the summers. Yeah, it's funny because during the summers is when I have the most possibility of content to film, but the least capability for content to film because of weather usually. By the way, hello, thank you for coming in. Our new land. I've been trying to plan my videos and thumbnails better too. I went from 50 watch hours to 1,000, so it's working. Yeah, see, I'm still trying. I'm struggling with the watch hours. That's the one thing I'm trying to work on right now is, I don't know. I've even thought about taking some of the older videos, the ones that are not getting continuous views, and redoing some of those. I know the thumbnails really, really do help. I talked about last week. I struggle with, how to make the thumbnail more, I don't know, engaging, clickable, curious. I don't know. Inside videos of things I'm making, cheeses, because of the Yep, I know. My problem is I don't have all the animals. I'm not doing all of I wish I was doing cheese making and making butter and all of those kinds of things. I don't do a lot of from scratch baking. I would do more if I didn't have to work, but because I work, it makes it hard. But anyway, I've been trying to. I do things like, the fruits are going to come when the fruits come. The plums are ready when they're ready. The peaches are ready when they're ready. That kind of thing. No matter how hot it is outside, you still have to get those things. So, and there's a lot of things where I only take a small portion that I really do something with right now, where I try and get a video out. But the bulk of it, I usually just juice because we are a jelly not jam family for the most part. And I use a lot of it for flavoring wine, for flavoring kombucha, and then making syrup, jelly, things like that. So I'm trying to get to where if I can get the stuff juiced on the video and just can the jars of juice, then when it gets cooler and I have more time and all that stuff, then I can get back to the other videos and making those other things when I can. We started cream cheese yesterday afternoon, but not thinking about that it had to incubate 12 hours. I was at 2 a.m. doing cheese stuff. Yep. Yeah, my watch hours, I'm gaining, but I'm gaining very slowly because of the amount that I lose, because I've been doing this over a year. And, this is, we're coming into the time when I really started kind of picking up a little bit. So I'm losing quite a bit more now each day than I was before. So I have to do quite a bit to make up for what I'm losing. I can't seem to pass that, what is it, 2,300 hours right now. I'm always way under. And every time, or not way under, but a little under. And every time I think, tomorrow I should surpass it, it'll be a day where I lost quite a bit. So I don't know. I really I'm trying so hard to get the watch hours. Sometimes I think I'm trying too hard. I don't know. Did that with a new pickle recipe the other day. Only let it brine for 12 hours, no longer than 18. So at 2:30 a.m., oops. Yeah, sometimes we just want to get the stuff done and we don't think about how the timing's going to turn out. Been there, done that. But yeah, I should be doing some pickles. I want to do some pickles and I want to do some relish. More lives, yes. And I would agree with you, but you see how hard it is to find something to talk about for an hour once a week. I really don't know unless I did some structured topics, which is what I really need to do. It's hard to figure out how I could do more than one live 1 hour per week and still have something to say, After getting monetized and watching what YouTube did, I don't even worry about any of it anymore. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, undecided about getting monetized. My whole thing is I don't really care about making a bunch of money or anything like that because, YouTube, you're not going to make a bunch of money anyway. But it would be nice to be able to at least maybe pay for some of the subscriptions that I pay for to be able to do the YouTube, things like the epidemic sound and, that type of stuff. It would be nice to make enough money to pay for those things. But been on YouTube for 3 years. Just like to know I have people watching our life unfold. Yep. Wow. Huh. Why did it drop so much? Was your watch time that much different, or what the heck happened? Hmm. Yeah, I worry about it, but I don't worry about it. I've said that several times. It's like, it'll happen when it happens. But at the same time, I still feel like the growth is just not quite what it should be. Well, let me rephrase. The watch hours are not matching or keeping up with the subscription growth rate, I guess I should say. I can't prove it, but one thing I think helped our watch hours was putting our all videos watch list on at the end card. I figured if they walked away while that video was playing, it would play all of them. Not true. I never thought of that. I'm shy, so it's hard for me to even get in front of the camera. I'm trying to. They average as if you keep having videos like the one that pushed me over with 30K plus views. Wow. I don't know. Swapping playlists. Yeah, I've done that a few times, but like I said, my problem right now is still that I'm losing more than I'm gaining because I've been 2 years at this now, so I don't know. And like I said, my watch hours are not keeping up with the growth of the subscribers, which is why I have started kind of researching a little bit, getting better with the thumbnails, trying to get better with planning out my videos so that I'm not forgetting things, trying to be more descriptive. Sometimes I forget that some people may not even know the basics of what I'm doing. Like if I'm canning something, and I assume too much. And sometimes I think I need to talk like I'm teaching somebody who's never done this before, and I forget to do that sometimes. So I'm trying to plan the stuff out, trying to remember the things that I need to mention. Maybe that'll help. We'll see. I'm also trying to change some of the style in the editing a little bit. I was doing a lot of speeding up the time. This last video, I think, is more of a stopping and then doing a page turn transition, so it shows time lapse. I don't know. I'm trying a couple things just to see how they work, and we'll see what happens from there. So. And then the latest one, I was tagged in the sandwich challenge. Yeah, I'm also trying to think of if I wanted to host another collaboration. I really enjoyed the Feast in the Jar, and I will probably do that again this coming year. But I'm trying to decide if I want to do another one. I have a couple of ideas. I've been seeing a lot of those videos for the sandwich challenge. I don't even know what it is. I haven't really watched enough to see what the actual challenge is, but I've been seeing them from Woman Outdoors. Yeah. But anyway, I figure as long as I keep trying to learn something new and trying to improve a little bit here and there, at some point it's really going to start paying off. I don't know when that's going to be, but it will happen. When I'm recording a new video, I often mention previous videos and add a card at that point, and I link to it in the description. Yeah, and see, that's what I was talking about. I know there are many more opportunities for me to do that, but I tend to forget to do that. So that's why I'm trying to plan out the video a little bit better. Maybe just have some bullet points so I can say, this is a good time to add this part. and then to remind myself during the editing to make sure I put those things in there. And trying to figure out, like you said, putting the all playlist at the end of a video. Sometimes I'm not always sure what I should put as the next video. But I'm working on those things, and hopefully things will get better. Or how to add an ending to a video. When you least expect it. I know. And I'm trying to be patient about it, but you know. Yeah, I did an intro video. I think I might have made it a little too long, but I did do an intro. But I've not done any, I don't know, I want to change that up a little bit. That's probably something else I'll be working on pretty soon. Because, you know, I see a lot of people who do the, you know, you come on and say, you know, hey, all, I'm Janet. Today I'm going to be canning pickles. And then it stops there, and then it has almost like a pre-recorded introduction type thing, and then comes back to you, and you kind of start the video from there. I thought about trying to do something like that, but I also see people who, you know, all of the professionals or the how-to people always tell you to get straight to the point, get straight to the video, whatever. So I never know which way is the right way to go with that. Titles that keyword rich helps people find you. Yes. Go Birth went viral. Put all your videos on one playlist. I do have a master playlist. Seen videos with peeps with less than 100 subs have thousands of views. Yep. Ultimate in the title. Huh. Double Dog Eddie, hello. Thank you for popping in. Hoorah. I mistyped titles that are keyword rich. Yeah, I knew what you meant. But yeah, that's like I said, that's kind of the one thing I've been working on while it's been too hot to really get out and do anything else, is kind of learning some of the keywords, trying to, what is that, ASQ method, answering specific questions, I guess it's called, in your video, that type of thing. But yeah, the keywords, the titles, I struggle with the titles sometimes because, you know, I want it to be to the point. I want people to know what they're clicking on, because to me it seems like it's worse when the thumbnail and title make it look like it's going to be one thing, and then they click on it and it's not what they thought it was going to be. Sometimes I think that hurts your stats more than if they never would have clicked on it at all. So, you know, I'd rather they know what they're getting before they even click on the video. So I struggle a little bit with how to do the titles and how to do the thumbnails sometimes, to create that curiosity and make people want to click on them. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too hard. I don't know. Not very creative yet. I just have a picture I use now at the beginning of my video for 5 seconds. It's of my husband's great-grandmother feeding her chickens. Cool. Delicious or crappy. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. And I try and do, several times I have gone to, when I'm getting ready to upload a specific video, I'll go on and I'll do a search and try and do the keyword search and the video search, see what's trending, what's working for people, how they've titled that same thing. And I don't know, sometimes it doesn't even, most of the time, to me, it doesn't seem like it does any good. I end up right back where I started with the title I thought I was going to put in anyway. So I don't know. Don't like videos like that, giving that false sense. I have unsubbed some channels for false advertising. Yep. Screenshot something in the video. Yeah, and that's what I usually end up making my thumbnail out of, is some sort of a screenshot. I mean, it depends on what it is. I hate clickbait. Yep. Well, thank you for that. I like my thumbnails. I don't know. I thought they were pretty good. We'll see. I think my issue was more the titles, and then I just need to get better at the videos. All those things that we were talking about, remembering to reference certain things, remembering that can be teaching moments, remembering to maybe change up B-roll type stuff some to make the videos more entertaining, I guess I should say. Too big to be used as a thumbnail. Yep. Yeah, I've had that happen several times. And it's funny because I'll go into, if you're talking about Canva, if I go into one of their templates for a thumbnail and then just kind of edit, change the picture that they have, change the words that they have, whatever, then that's what it'll tell me. It's too big. But if I start from a blank one and put that same picture in and the same wording and make it look pretty much almost the same as that template was, then it's not too big and it'll accept it just fine. So I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I got to get better about remembering that some of that stuff can be a teaching moment. So, remembering to tell maybe why I'm doing certain things the way that I'm doing, or maybe that sometimes there is an option to do it another way, or, remembering to reference previous videos that might have talked about that particular part of the video that I'm doing, or, all of that kind of stuff, I think makes a big difference. And that's the kind of stuff I usually forget to do. So that's what I'm working on. I'm old school. I resize photos using paint. You can also crop it down to make it fit. I hit it on my phone, not using any templates. I do everything on my phone. Yeah, I was doing a lot of it on my phone till I realized that all of the stuff was taking up way too much stuff on my phone. So I have figured out that it is easier for me to do the editing and stuff on the computer. I have my iCloud set up so that every time I do any kind of videoing or taking pictures or whatever on my phone, it automatically uploads to the cloud. That way I can pull that stuff up on my computer easily. So, and then I usually will take and download those items and save them into whatever file I need to save them into, so that I can delete them off my phone and off the cloud so that it's not taking up so much space. That's what I try and do. It doesn't always work that way, but that's what I try and do. Yeah, I have a couple of the editing apps on the phone, but like I said, I found, and I went through, I don't know, probably 10 different, even on the computer, softwares till I found one that I liked. And I do pay for it because I had trouble with a lot of the free ones. Part of that may have been the computer that I had before, so I haven't tried any of them with this new computer. So that may have been the problem, but I was having a lot of trouble with a lot of them. But now I'm used to the one that I'm using, so I don't know. I don't know if I really want to change now because I've gotten used to it. I have to delete the cloud off of the laptop so that I could transfer videos to it. It was ridiculous. Huh. Yeah, see, mine, I don't have the cloud actually on my computer. I go to iCloud in a browser. I go to it that way and then download whatever files I need onto my computer. I've got a flash drive that fits my phone. Move clips to computer using that. Yep. 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 Look, sounds like we're all just doing what we can to make it work for us. But anyway, I'm hoping that some of the research and stuff that I'm doing, some of the changes I'm trying to start making, I'm hoping it'll be noticeable on the videos and make my videos better. But I thought I was going to pull my hair out trying to figure it out. I don't think it was called cloud, but basically the same thing. Wouldn't let me stuff to a folder. Yep. Yeah, mine downloads. I just choose the files that I want on the iCloud. I choose the files that I want. I hit the download button. My computer's download file, and then I can move them to wherever I want them. Make homemade what? All right, well, I had just got through fixing lunch or dinner for us, technically, before I came in here, so I did not get to eat yet. We are pushing the hour, so I think I'm going to call it here and get ready to go eat. I do have to work tonight, so that's why I said I try and download those files onto my computer, put them in the file that I need them in, and then delete them off of the cloud so that it's not full, and delete them off my phone. Otherwise, they're going to keep uploading onto the cloud because I have it set to automatically do that. So anyway, I am thankful for each and every one of you who stopped in. Thank you so much, and I hope I see you all next week, same time. Have a good day.